To go back to when the drug use started and when my life started spiraling, I was married and I separated.
My mom before, she was always a good mom, and then when she got divorced, she kind of went wild and started using drugs again and drinking, and she wasn't ever home, and I was like taking care of the younger ones.
I quickly got caught up in going to bars and going to clubs, and it got really bad. I was spending less and less time at home with my kids, less and less time at work, less and less time doing the productive things that I'd been doing, and my drug use just got out of control.
Life was really bad when we lived with the drug mom because it was like never there.
She locked the doors on us and we couldn't come in sometimes. Yeah, and we just felt like we were alone and we just didn't have a mom.
I had caught in charges and I went to jail. And my kids, in the 3 days that I was in jail, their dad came and took them. And I couldn't see them. The judge told me, he said, get clean, you can get your kids back. Get clean, you can get your kids back. And then he finally told me, hey, you know what, you're gonna lose your kids.
The younger ones got taken away first, and I was still living with her, and then a couple weeks later, I got taken away, and I was with a friend and they were with their grandparents, and my mom was in rehab, and it was hard, but it was better. It needed to happen.
I was raised by both my mom and dad. They were great parents. I had a little sister, and I had some friends, and when we started getting to junior high, 7th and 8th grade, we started messing around, partying a little bit, and it led into using drugs. And then, from marijuana into harder and harder and harder drugs, and finally I was flat out junkie, addicted. I was addicted to cocaine, heroin, alcohol, crystal meth, everything, and my life just progressively spiraled downwards. We met when we were out using, and we both got clean together. And she went to rehab, and I was trying to do it on my own, and I was really struggling with it. I'd get clean for a month or 50 days or something like that, then I relapsed, and after that I just felt empty.
We were talking about a meeting, an AA meeting that was up in Ogden, and I was joking around with Ben, and I says, hey, well, you know what, we can go to that meeting in Ogden at that church, and I can go to church and we can go to a meeting, just kind of teasing. And he says one day, he's like, well, my mom goes to this church. I says, okay, well, we'll go check it out. And we came, and I can't explain the feeling that we got that first night. I mean, it was overwhelming. It's the first time we had both heard it, that we were forgiven, for all of that bad stuff we'd done. To believe that God forgave me, that was really hard, because I just didn't think, why would he?
That night that I came to church with Michelle for this church for the first time, it was the first time I had truly felt God's presence in my heart. I believe it was God's way of letting me know that this is where you belong. It felt like he was telling us, welcome home, this is your new home.
We were singing, looking at the screen, looking at the songs, and we were both crying and singing and crying and listening to the message.
It just felt so real to us It was.
We bawled the whole time, both of us.
Yeah. We were a bunch crying the whole time. But, you know, there was no doubt in my mind after that night that God wasn't real. You know, it was for sure thing. He had his hand on us, and that if we could trust in him, he would help us. And, you know, that's been about 1.5 years ago, and we're both still clean to this day. And
We've both been here every Sunday.
My mom's changed a lot. She talks about God a lot and about how he's helped her and just about how much he influenced her to get better. And she says that without him she couldn't have done it, so I know that she really does love God.
She loves, and we pray every night before bed, and she sometimes cries during the prayer because like she feels like God and she feels like God's with him, and she feels like she's not alone no more because she didn't feel God when she was drugged.
And I know that she loves God because my mom and my dad are divorced, and she prays for my dad.
We love God, we love church, we love raising our children like this.
We knew God at the old when we lived with our mom when she was doing drugs, but we wasn't very close like we are now. And my mom didn't know him either that much, but they knew God, and we wouldn't be here if we didn't have God and Jesus.
For me, God has, he saved me. He saved me from myself.
Jesus has transformed my life. He's, I feel like a complete person now. You know, I'm still a sinner, and I know that, and, you know, it is truly grace that he welcomes me with open arms and forgives me.